Hello everyone, it's Knowledge Butterfly. I apologize for the lighting behind me. I closed it, and when I closed it, it was really dark, so I didn't want to be totally hidden. And even though I do love the darkness, I still didn't want to be hidden. What I wanted to do was a continuation of the first video I did because I was interrupted, so I went ahead and just stopped the video. However, I wanted to actually finish the topic of why people are so physical, or maybe not finish, but get a little bit more in depth because I'm not sure if I explained. I have a tendency to, I think I did. I go with the flow. So if uh, something in me, like the ancestors in me, if it unlocked something in my DNA at that time for me to know, then I want to go ahead and share it if it's supposed to be shared. So I want to get back into why people are so physical, and then I also want to just talk about when I was explaining that energy can be transmuted. And by that I mean through meditation, because that's one form. Meditation is uh, something that anyone who calls himself higher conscious has to do in order to be higher conscious or higher thinking, or you know um, higher self, however you want to call it, um, in order to be there at a certain level, or I should say in the school of higher self. Because actually, as a school, none of us are, completely higher, ever going to be completely higher self, or, lower self. We're just really supposed to be balanced within it. However, by being higher self, it just means that you get the connection between everything. Um, and you let go of a lot of the ego and a lot of the lower self type of behaviors. So meditation aids you in getting yourself to the higher self and staying more in your higher self and living more in your higher self. And I say I prefer at this time to live more in my higher self. And reason being is because I'm 39 years old. So when I started to truly awaken was the end of 2016. That's when everything just changed for me. And so I was turning 38, and I just knew that things weren't right. So, that means that I spent 37 years almost. I mean, I hate to count childhood completely because you're not disconnected at that point. So it's really like the whole 37 years. I'll just say 27 years of this particular life and existence, living in the lower self. And yeah, so that's why I prefer to now be a little bit more in higher self. And here comes my kitty Shiva. She just likes attention. She's the part of me that don't come out because I honestly don't like attention. I'm more of an introvert. I'm really quirky and stuff like that. So a lot of people will think that's weird. So that's why me sharing myself on YouTube is very, very uh, monumental for me, because that's me putting myself out there for other people to see. That's why I don't mind if everyone doesn't feel me or see me, because we may not be on the same frequency. This may not be for you, and I understand that. So I just appreciate anyone who um, who looks at it with an open heart and an open mind, at least. All right, so transmuting energy. Like I said, meditation is definitely the best way, because you're able to center yourself, you're able to see your affirmations and put yourself in whatever that higher state uh, of energy you want to be in at that time. And it could be something you're working towards, like for me, mantras about abundance and things like that, mantras about abundance and things being energy and those types of things. And I can thank my brethren, universal frequencies, actually, for assisted me with some of my affirmations. However, I also created some of my own too, which you should always do. You should always find something that resonates with you, that resonates on your frequency and where you are, because then it's truly coming from self, you know. So that's how you transmute it. It's truly coming from self. Uh, Also, crystals. Like I said, I love crystals. I have one in each pocket right now. That's why I put this shirt on. Even though I was walking up the hill, sweating, sweating, sweating. That's my physical time walking up the hill. If y'all only knew how long that hill is that I walk up to go into the jungle of Jamaica to come to this house in what they call the bush. I love it though. I love it. I'm in nature. I'm a nature girl. So, yeah, crystals. Crystals actually work because they do take in the energy that you want to release, right? They take in the energy. That's why you have to cleanse them when you first get them, because uh, whoever had them before and handled them before, their energy was on it. And then you think about the fact that it's traveling to get to you. So then about the time it gets to you, who knows how many hands it's passed through. And even though it's in a box, we all know that even though energy's in a box, you can't contain it. It's just like we're energy. You can't really contain it. You know, you can only contain so much of it. However, it's still picking up, right? Same thing with those crystals. So you definitely have to cleanse those. However, that's what they do once they're cleansed. They're taking in your energy and the things that you want to cleanse and get out of you and transmute into something else, which is whatever frequency that crystal has. So it could be something you're working on in self. Only, of course, you know what you're working on in self, and so you choose those crystals for those various reasons. Like, since I've been dealing with abundance, I have pyrite in my right pocket, and then in my left, I have citrine. So, you just have different things. You have them in there, and then I have them in the certain pockets for a reason. Like, it's a reason behind everything, and it's supposed to be. That's how you manifest things. You don't just do everything's a feeling, and I just go by what hands the crystals even want to be placed in. You see what I'm saying? So, based upon what hands it wants to be placed in, that means it's the pockets I need to place it in. That's just my, my quirky way, what people would call it. However, it's just my natural instinct that tells me to do it that way. So that's the way I do it. And so yeah, you just, again, whatever, because your environment doesn't affect you, and that is what I was talking about as far as getting back into that. So I'll actually use that to go ahead and transition into why people are so physical, and then the frequency and the music behind that, basically, because I look at everything musical, because we are all music. Me speaking right now is music. The voice that is, projecting out to you is music, and people call it accents. It's just music from whatever dimension, from wherever you came from. Your planet is what I call it. Like, I'm on the planet of Jamaica right now. It's a whole new world here. It's like Pandora. I feel like I'm in Avatar. Some of the banana trees look like if the leaves were big enough, I could be sliding off of them or whatever. And I love that movie, so let me not even get into that. Nafiri. I love that she said her name. Um, Anywho's, yeah, so like I said, the crystals taking that energy, you can use that to transmute it and take the energy that you want. And those are just a couple of things. You can do yoga. It's just stretching, lets go and releases anger and things like that. I stretch every day, and I even stretched at the marina the other day. I love the Aeroflot Marina. I did some earlier videos there that I never posted. I wasn't ready. It was actually like me just practicing with myself, getting comfortable with the camera, getting comfortable with myself, and letting myself be natural, like even just scratching my face right then. It itched, so what? You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Not being so critical of everything about me, because you'd be looking, okay, that's my stomach. Because females be like, how my stomach look? That's when you ever have a girlfriend, how I look today, girl? Like, you just want to make sure everything is put together. As a female, most of the time, your natural state is to think about your Venus. However, at the same time, I have to still be me, because if I'm too focused on the image that I'm portraying, then I'm like everybody else. And then I'm being a hypocrite to what I'm telling people that they need to get more out of the physical, because we've been living in the physical for so long that we that's why we forgot who we truly are, because we were so caught up in chasing someone else's soul. Our soul is not money. Our soul is not physical things. Our soul is not even what we live in. Because right now, I I'm from America. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been traveling back and forth to Jamaica, like staying here. And I met a really nice man who offered me a place to stay. And it's up in the hills, what they call the bush, and it's beautiful. It's a farm, and it just has everything. And I'm pretty sure I talked about some of that in my first video. However, I didn't talk about the fact of how um, beautiful things can be manifested when your thoughts are clear and right. hmm Because this is your movie script. This is why I say you got to get out of physical. Because until you understand that none of this shit, if anything's physical, okay, it is an image, right? It's a projection. It's like TV. It's like, a movie projector. You're projecting it through your thoughts. So when every day you're thinking about all this negative, what people will call a negative shit, and I actually hate using positive and negative. Be positive, don't be negative, because when you understand that positive, the light, and negative, the darkness, i.e., the masculine and the feminine energy, which is an energy and not an actual sex, what we see here. We see this physical shell of a female, which is your image, versus the actual light being that you are, and the electrons and the protons and the things that make up those very beings, and the chemistry and metaphysics behind the glory and the beauty of who we actually are. And so I try not to, excuse me, I think I got cat hair because my cat just be shedding. I try not to get too caught in the physical things, because I found myself doing it. I found myself looking for people, men in particular, that had certain physical attributes. They looked a certain way, and that meant they had a certain liberty and they had a certain thought process. Because to me, your liberty comes from your thought process. Liberty means to me not just the physical, but it means how you see um, yourself through everything. It means the things that you put inside of this physical image, or physical vehicle that you drive in every day. And that's not just the food. It means the things, i.e. TV, i.e. People that you're around, i.e., just any distractions. If you think about things, if you cannot sit alone by yourself in your own thoughts and think about why you had a thought and get deeper into that, or just be able to be in the quiet in nature and just watch ants and watch any little small, what you think is small, what you think is, something that's not as important as you. You know what I'm saying? If you can't even get outside of your own self, get outside of this physical self to see who you really are on the inside, and be able to look at those things. Excuse me, that's the door, because the wind blows and it does that to the door because it's not closed all the way or locked. So I'm just saying all that to say is that that's how you know you're still in physical. That's how you know that you're still taking on, like I said, religion. Because religion is one thing that makes people physical. I didn't finish my thoughts because my mind be going. And then education, the school system. That, like I said, your environment is everything that uh, you gave any kind of time to, because time is energy, and that the energy that you give off is your true money. You know what I'm saying? So that's the true value. So when you give in all this time to an abusive relationship, you're still stuck in the physical, because you feel like that this person threatened to kill you, and if they kill you or whatever, then that's the end of you, that there is nothing after that. also having a fear of something that like is outside of you, and you are him and he's you, a reflection. So it's some type of fear you got to let go of. And the thing about an abusive person, and I can speak from personal experience because I've been in a relationship like that, and he was actually turned into a stalker. As long as I showed this man fear, he gave me fear. So if I acted like I was intimidated by him, that's how he treated me. However, when I stood up for myself and showed him, you can try to put your hands on his physical body. However, one, you do it again, I'm gonna put some harm on your physical body. Okay, don't let the size fool you. And two, it's still your karma because it's still gonna come back to you. Because I always knew you reap what you sowed. Even I grew up in Christianity, I knew a lot of things that make sense. However, I knew that made sense. I knew that made sense. I knew it. It's just like if I go out there and plant a seed for a coconut, then I'm going to eventually get a coconut tree. It's going to go from its different stages or whatever. However, if I'm out there throwing plastic, trash just all over the ground, then what you think you're going to get? You see what I'm saying? And then people be like, I don't know why things are happening to me because they so stuck in the physical. And when you're stuck in the physical, you tend to think you perfect because you're stuck in ego. If you stuck in ego, it's very hard you can't nail yourself to the cross because you're the Christos, you're the Christ. You have to nail yourself to the cross. You have to dissect your own self and figure out your own problems and your own hangups about yourself. The reason why when you look at these what they call mirrors, what's supposed to be a reflection of yourself, this physical self, you see all these flaws and everything that's wrong with you. I was like that. I can only speak from my personal experience. And so now, I just, like my hair is natural, I braid it. Like I'm not even finished, I still gotta do the middle. I just put it in a ponytail because I wanted to shoot this video. And even though like I am like not all in the physical, I still don't want people to be distracted looking at these little plaits and things I got at the top of my head till I complete the very little center part. So yeah, I just want everybody to elevate as I elevate as well. We all at different levels. So I'm not going to criticize because we have people who still just waking up. Actually, we have people who just now, people who still talking about the Black Power, and people who still talking about what the Egyptians did or the Cometians did. We got people still talking about our history, even though that is his story, it's her story. However, I like how I think it was my brother Osei said is mystery. And the reason why I love mystery because I love mystic. I love mystique. You know what I'm saying? I love anything mystical, magical, that darkness. You don't know what's coming out of that darkness. You know what I'm saying? It's like my little kitty. She'll just like perch somewhere in a dirt, and she can see a lizard or something crawling on a tree. You know what I'm saying? And when most people over here using a flashlight, you know what I'm saying? She uses her natural sense to do so. So that's why, I say going out in nature, if you know that you can just go and just pay attention to just sit there and smoke some weed, that's to like, I'm not promoting weed smoking or whatever. However, I'm in Jamaica. Smoke some weed here, and I just I'm just telling you my process. And then I just, get into that zone or whatever. And, that's got me to the point where I'm finally able to record these videos and post a video because I had to get outside of my physical self and my physical hangups. Because when something you say is your purpose, if it's truly your purpose, it's going to nag at you until you do it. So I had to get into the mama side and the nurturing side to why we are the way we are. And I'm not saying it's always going to sound so sweet. People tell me I say things sweet, and I take that as a compliment because a while ago, before I started going on this journey, people told me I was very angry, especially when I drank, because I was a functioning alcoholic at one point. We wouldn't even get into that. I was a functioning alcoholic at one point. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go to work drunk. However, when I came home from work, it was on. I could drink a whole bottle and be, still like, okay, did I drink a whole bottle? Until I go to sleep and then I wake up, I'm like, oh, I drank a whole bottle. Not anymore though, because what you have to do, you have to understand is you are your 12-step program, okay? Because again, we are looking on the outside of ourselves, a physical thing to fix something. That's why you'll never be healed and you gotta continue. I'm still an alcoholic, I'm still a recovery. No, you're not. You only recovering if in your mind you didn't tell yourself you still recover. Honey, I'm healed. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go have a drink, like Jamaica has really good beer called Red Stripe, however, I like the girly one, the lemon or the sorrel. I have that. I've had a rum and boom here. I've had a rum and ting here. I've had partaked in elixirs or spirits. However, again, you can transmute any energy. And with all of that still coming naturally and being the ancestors, then it's a part of you. And so a lot of times, if you're in the right place, like when I used to be angry when I drank, now I'm in a totally different zone. And, I'm over here speaking to people. Like yesterday, I was invited to I went to go basically get some snacks because I was hungry. I had just washed clothes, and in Jamaica, you wash clothes by hand, so you use a brush and all that. You use like a wash bin and all that good stuff, and you wash your clothes. You let it soak in this conditioner, fabric conditioner. You rinse it, hang it, all that good stuff or whatever. So after I did that, I sweated and got some toxins out of my pores, cooled off. I was like, I'll walk some more and I'll finish cooling off and get some snacks. I go just to get snacks and then have a drink. And the gentleman there that owns it, he wasn't at his cart because what I love about Jamaicans, a very smart concept that they do. If you don't have a business, I'm going to own it, right? Or if I'm going to work, I'm going to own my business, I should say. And so his house is down a little, and he just has to walk up probably like I'll say 100 meters or some shit like that. Don't quote me because meters, miles, foots, and shit. I don't really give a fuck about none of that, to be honest. Unless. Anywho's and so we start having a conversation. He started telling me he used to be a pastor. So we got into that. He told me why he's not a pastor. I will not tell that because that's his business. How he was honest with me, and I find that people who look me in my eyes, they have no choice but to be honest with me. And so when people don't want to be honest with me, they can't look me in my eyes, okay? Because the eyes are the windows to the soul, okay? And so he just started telling me the truth about that, and then he got into how intelligent he feels that I am, and I appreciated that, and we were just talking about the Bible and things, and I was explaining to him I'm not a Christian, and how, I used to be one, and how I grew up in that, and my great-grandfather was a Baptist minister. Forgive me, I know I'm talking fast. So I just start telling him all of these, I told him those things about me because I don't mind sharing certain things with people. You get a little, you give a little, right? So after that conversation, he said, you know what, you don't have to buy any more drinks. The next one's free on me. I said, I wasn't sure I was going to have another one. I wrote, okay. I have already cleansed my demons that I had going on last week. They weren't the best. It was mucus. Mucus is bad, guys. It's bad. It's everywhere. If you have mucus, it's in your head. It's when they said you have a head cold for a reason, okay? You don't want that in there, all right? Because that is impacting your information and your thought process and patterns, and it causes a lot of times for you to reside in a lower place. This cat is all in my shirt. She'll even lay on my side of the bed. That's them telling you this is me. That's why I hate to say this cat. Just be right on my side of the bed. Let's not do that. But anyways, so we had that drink, and after we had that drink, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna fill up a flask. Do you mind going up with me to my friend's house? See, most people would have been afraid, like, from fear, because it's all physical. They're looking at this man, they thinking, I don't know him. However, if you truly get that we are all one, then that's me. He can't do nothing to me. That's me. So if I truly say that I'm everything and everything is me, and my Mary J. Blige, then I'm not fearing anything. And he gave up something to me, was honest to me about some things. So why can't I go and have more free drinks with this man? Because it was on him still. So we went and we had a couple of more drinks, and then some beautiful little girls came in there, and I played with them, and I just went in the moment. See, if I hadn't had that experience with him, I wouldn't have met the two little girls, 4 and 6 years old. Beautiful little melanated girls, and we just played. I ran with them. That's why my legs are a little sore because I can run really fast. However, I hadn't ran in a long time, especially ran like that. Even though I walk up that hill every day, it's totally different muscles when you're running. It's totally different muscles, and also it's more energy and more frequency you're taking on. So yeah, I was climbing the fence with them, picking flowers. We just did some things together. We played. We played hide and seek. We twirled around. Like I have to get in my little girl time sometimes because that's what I say. Like when the demons take off, you start. That's when you start to take on again other energy, and that's why you just have to get rid of some things, transmute some things. I started getting on my crystals and my meditation, and then I started to feel better. So yeah, other things happened in that experience. I had some interesting reasoning, what they call in Jamaica. However, I won't get into all that. However, yeah, that experience as a whole was good. And this man wound up, I think, doing like 2, 3 flasks for us. I stopped drinking because he had already told me. The man already told me he in his heyday, right? This man used to drink 8 bottles of white rum, Jamaican white rum. Yeah, if you never drank it, okay. I won't even tell. Google Jamaican white rum, and you tell me. All right. 8 bottles by himself, big bottles, not the flask. Moving on. Most people would have been dead, y'all, physically. Moving on. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, again, those are reasons why we're stuck in physical because of fear. So religion, education, they teach you fear. That's the number one thing. Just think about it. Think about it this way. If it teaches you fear, then it is not of you or who you truly are, okay? It's not of who you truly are. Who you truly are is here. That's not who you truly are. Forgive me. My hair is not it because I'm looking like I'm truly me. I'm truly me. Because I just know that I'm truly me. However, I'm just letting you know it's not who you truly are. You have to dig down deep inside of yourself to know who you truly are. Okay, I know who I truly am. It's still a journey. However, deep down inside, I know that a natural girl is who I am. I bathe in the river. I never did that before here. You know what I'm saying? Bathe naked, bathe in a bathing suit. You know, just try different experiences. I'm not saying the mosquitoes weren't out like because it was new meat and it was definitely on me. However, I full enjoyed it. Yeah. And I, climbed like natural steps. Like I said, wash my clothes naturally, manually, my own hands. Learn how to cook using all natural ingredients. Learn how to do a lot of things here in Jamaica. I feel like I was and I hate to use the term Jamaican labels. Fuck, I hate them. That's why we're so physical. Labels, okay? That's the third one. Labels, guys. Labels. We label one another. We become physical because uh, when you think about a grocery store, it got labels on it. When you think about that door, when you think about going to the mall in America, or even in Jamaica, just going to like any store where you're buying clothes, a clothing store, it got a tag on it, which is still got a label inside of it. So it got the tag on the outside with the price. So that's how a lot of y'all walking around the price that you're willing to sell your soul for, right? Because that's what all these name brands are. This is the price you sell yourself for, okay? And then, I hate that too, y'all. I hate that about us. And then you got the label on the inside, and sometimes you label yourself on the outside. You know, sometimes, like yesterday I had on a Coachella. I ain't gonna lie, I had on the Coachella shirt, however, because, you know what I'm saying? Ella, I like the egg, I like the Ella on it, you know. Um, so, I just went ahead and got down with it. And it looked cute, however, it's white, and so sweating through it like a wet t-shirt kind of contest because I do not believe in bras. Everything to me is a natural girl. So, yeah, I had to hurry up and get up here and change that because the men in Jamaica very physical, right? So what I could have done in a tribe in Africa, like if I was one of the tribes that came from that African lineage, and I grew up there or whatever, it would be totally different. Like the man wouldn't be just sexual. The man will understand that these what the mirror glands are for, being there for babies and things like of that nature, and how special that is, and not how physically sexual that is. How it's reproductively sexual, meaning it is nourishment for your seed. That should make you sexual here, because you should love her more for that. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Labels. So we gotta stop labeling ourselves in our head. You're not a Gucci, you're not a Versace. You see what I'm saying? You are none of those things. You're not a Michael Kors. If y'all still do that, like I haven't really been in there, them labels in a long time. Giuseppe, whatever y'all do, whatever the hip hop artists, and I hate to call them hip hop because that's supposed to be about higher conscious, is what I wrote down the exact name of it, however what it means, and so it's like an acronym or something like that. So it has a deeper meaning than that. And so it's a higher purpose and higher conscious that is supposed to bring you to. And Lauryn Hill was rapping about that in the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And that's what getting off the physical will do for you, to be honest. That's a door to open up. When you start listening to songs, when you watch a movie, when you watch TV, you'll start seeing some subliminal things that other people start trying to show you in what you would call the dark side. However, on the other side, people who are attempting to enlighten you, like the Lauryn Hills and the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, she was really speaking. So when you're physical, you only see things from a surface level, is what I'm saying. So until you get out of everything on the outside, being on the outside of you, and really seeing yourself on the inside, and seeing everything that you think is on the outside, seeing as it is inside of you, until you get to that point, then you will continue to only hear and see on a physical level. When hearing and seeing, you see, I still point here because that's how I actually hear and see here, because this seeing and this hearing is still on a physical level. Sometimes, like, you can hear a ringing in your ear. Like in my left ear, I just feel like, because it's normally like a higher pitched frequency or whatever, I just have a feeling like it's just an awakening of my DNA, and an ancestor cell is what I like to call it, an ancestor cell awakened, and that was dormant, that was asleep. That's why they say the ancestors have awakened. Sometimes I feel like the ancestors are back. Even though they never went anywhere, they were dormant. So technically, it was almost like you felt like they weren't there. You know what I'm saying? Because you were allowing yourself. I was allowing myself to run amok. And not be disciplined, because Christianity, with you being so physical, you don't get the spiritual part, which when you get the spiritual part, a lot of the things you're doing to yourself physically wouldn't happen. That's another thing. When you find you cannot discipline yourself on doing certain things, and again, I still have to check myself. So when you find yourself not being disciplined in doing something, you have to take a look and see, because you should never feel like you need something. Like, I love the song Pine and Ginger here. And she talks about everybody's coping, whether we drinking or we smoking, whether we writing a song, pen and paper, something like that. And she's right. Everybody has a coping mechanism in this realm. When you're in this dream realm, you have a coping mechanism. And so you have to identify why you have that coping mechanism. Like, first, where it came from. Because most of it's learned behavior. So if you drinking, that's why they say it's generational curses, because it's learned behavior. So your parents did something, or their parent did it, and then you carry on that thing. Because technically, we are everything. And so things can be activated and awakened in our DNA, because we got to understand we took on our mother's mitochondrial DNA. And so my mother's mitochondrial DNA had alcoholics in her family. So me being an alcoholic, a functioning alcoholic at that time, and having to move past that, it makes a lot of sense, right? However, I like I said, I did my own 12, 13 step program, which was, get out of them fucking 12 steps. One, and two, get out of my fucking head and being so logical about everything that I'm stressing myself out and trying to give myself steps 1 through damn 26 or 1 through 33, I should say. No, I will not, I shall not do that, okay? I shall live my life accordingly because I am my law. I am my judge. I am my jury, okay? I check myself. I nail myself up on that cross, and I start I start to pinpoint these problems and these issues that's got to go. That's not cute no more. Because even though you got to hold on to your childlike essence, that don't mean that little snotty ass behavior, attitude. No, she be. That doesn't mean do that. It doesn't. Because you gotta grow up in certain aspects. You gotta have wisdom in certain aspects. That means you don't have to run and pop off at the mouth all the time, because that shows your maturity. There's a wise quote that you do not argue with a fool, because from afar you cannot tell which one is the fool, right? I think that's how it goes. However, if it doesn't go that, it goes some way that way, something like that, basically. Sometimes the English language makes no sense to me, so you have to excuse me if I just go. That's why sometimes I word pronunciation, like, who gives a fuck, because you speak in spells most of the time, right? So you have to be cognizant of that. Anywho, so yeah, yeah, I just wanted to get into some of that, guys. I really hope, or I should say, I hope, I know I touch the lives of who I was meant to touch, because this is my purpose to do so. So I already put it out that I know whoever needed this, that they needed to hear my tone, because what I wanted to get into now is the music. So once I got to Jamaica and I started experiencing the reggae culture, firsthand, not just listening to it and only listening to the Bob Marley and the things that are popular in America, because they have their things that they want to show you all the time, and most of the time in the melanated movement, what people call the black movement, it's a lighter face, and it's no disrespect to my lighter shade melanated people, because I get wear like 48 hues or something like that, if you want to call it that. 48 shades, whatever, no problem. However, if you notice, they do put a face out there of somebody who got a white parent and a black parent. You see what I'm saying? So they want to show you how we fight one another, yet they want to show you this child who's on both sides of the spectrum, but there's a child. Like, okay. Really, guys? So you want us to intermix? Yeah, you want us to fight? You want us to intermix, but you want us to fight? Like, what y'all doing? So I experienced more of the Bob Marley type of music, and I love Bob Marley. Don't get me wrong, because I still have a playlist of Bob Marley. "Sun is Shining" and "Satisfy My Soul." They both satisfy my soul. Both of those songs. They always uplift my mood. So music is another way, guys, to transmute some energy. So some good music. And I always knew that as a teenager, I would put my big headphones on, and I would listen to Miseducation of Lauryn Hill or whoever, and I would just sing to the top of my lungs sometimes when my parents and everybody was going, and I rarely had the house to myself because I have other earthly siblings. Anywho, so just I was talking about how we are all music. So when you're in certain environments, so when I came here and I got the reggae culture and I start experiencing that, and I start seeing these melanated people here who are really some beautiful souls. Like, people, they try to give you so much fear about Jamaica, and like I said, this man offered up a home for me and everything, and has been nothing but really nice. I can say that. And so the harmony and how you get that, what you want to manifest based upon the harmonies and the environments and the frequencies, because everything has a frequency to it. We are all music. Like I said, my voice is music. You may not hear certain sounds that you're making. However, everything is making a sound. It just could be, seem so low that you don't hear it. It's just like here, I hear trees like when a banana tree or something falls, I hear it. Shit, I hear the banana tree when the banana tree is reproducing the banana. So when a banana's coming out, there's a little stem. Like I know a lot of people have not seen a real banana in America, like how it grows out the tree, right? Unless they're from Jamaica, islands, the Caribbean. The banana tree makes a noise like it's giving birth, y'all. And it can be some freaky shit if you're not prepared for it. Because when I first heard it, I thought it was a person. And I was like, why is there a person? Because there's no other houses around me. This is isolated. He is really nice. He has a lot of seclusion here, and I love it. So, anywho's, yeah, so everything's musical. So that was music coming from that banana tree, that sound. Everything makes sound. Your voice, like your dialect, people call it accent, the dialect you speak, which is that divided thing, because it is divided. It's whatever your natural tone, speaking, whatever, what people like to call accent of whatever place that you're from in this realm. And so it is that music. And so you have people in your environment and their key is off tune. They like 440 hertz. They going 440 hertz, so they all just like shaky. It's like somebody who had too much Starbucks coffee and they just jittery and jumpy and shit. So then you could have been at 432 hertz. You could have meditated and you like, the sky is the limit and life is beautiful. Like you are giving thanks to everything. And they come with their energy and they look like they woke up. I have people say somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed. hmm Yeah, yeah. So that is not only the energy, that energy is music, it's sound, guys. So if you were on key and then someone comes here off key, how you think that's like trying to penetrate your aura? That's why people have crystals and things like that to protect your aura, like pyrite. And pyrite repairs leaks in your aura, actually. So, that's a good thing to have on me. And I just thought about that too. It's not just about the grounding part of what I'm manifesting, so that I'm doing the physical works towards it, like the YouTube video, because that's actually what edged me towards getting this done. You know, so, anyways, guys, yeah, the crystal sound, you don't hear it, it's sound, it's movement, it's vibration, it's frequency. hmm it all comes from the same source. It's all in us. And so, yeah, we are, we are just a big chorus. We are a big chorus, and we just have a lot of off tunes. We got a lot of people on the wrong frequency. A lot of people on the wrong frequency. And then a lot of those people are the people who have no openness. Now, if the pastor can sit down and have a conversation with me and tell me why I'm right, when I tell them things about the Bible, when I can say some things that have truth, and the reason why Christianity and a lot of Christians are lost, and it's because they look at the Bible also as a physical object. Therefore, if they look at the Bible as a physical object, they look at the people in the Bible as physical objects instead of looking at them as different parts of your universe. Guys, that's why where the science of astrology comes in. That's where the science of metaphysics comes in and things. That's where chemistry. That's why a lot of elements. That's where everything. That's where a lot of things that I will say come in that Bible. How because we think as a physical people, we make everything physical because otherwise in that lower conscious you can't grasp it. That's why I can tell you something, I can explain it to you, but I can't make you understand it. I can't. I can't. I can't do that. That's a little bit of patois for y'all. I love you. I love Jamaica because that music's beautiful to me. That patois music is beautiful to me. I told them, I said, y'all make beautiful music, right? It's just like we got to get out of no, Chidi. We got to get out of thinking that this here is all that is what we are, because it's not. It's an image. You see what I'm saying? It's just like everything we do in the physical, from people making paintings. The sky is a different painting every single day, right? right? What they call the sky, different pictures over there, right? Sometimes the sun's out, sometimes there's some clouds, sometimes there's different colors in the clouds, and sometimes there's a rainbow. Sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's just a cloudy day. However, there are different shades of the clouds. As above, so below. You see what I'm saying? So when we just really start thinking of things more as a spiritual, we don't get so focused on uh, everything. That's what we say is physical. This wood. Don't get so. And don't ask me. And the three knocks, that was it happened for a reason. I know there is no such thing as coincidence. None, 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 none. Nothing is a coincidence. Everything is what I manifested. That's why I have to protect my thoughts and watch my thoughts and meditate more. Because when you start to have negative people around you playing that negative music, is what I was going to get on, guys, but I got a little distracted. Um, you start to become that same volume too. You know the saying, one bad apple can spoil a bunch? That's why. One bad chord can throw everything off, and you like the whole song is messed up, and everybody's off key because nobody can catch the beat. Nobody can catch the beat. You see what I'm saying? I'm really gonna go ahead and finish on that note because at least with this video, because I could continue to go on because it's just a lot more that I've learned on this journey because part of these videos are also going to be about me talking about how I manifested this cat, guys, how I manifested where I am right now. And, it's just like really how you got to where you are. Because everything you're thinking right now is going to take you somewhere else where they say in the future, what they call the future. Technically, there's no such thing as time. It's just in this realm, there's no such thing as time. However, there's no such thing as time. We're just going through the 12 cycles, the 12 disciples, the zodiacs. We're going because it starts at Aries and then, goes to Taurus and Virgo, something like that. It goes in the backwards order of how they make the years go. You see what I'm saying? With the Gregorian calendar. You hear that beautiful rain, y'all? That's music. That's why when anybody say they gotta turn on physical music and have somebody singing in their ear, that means you not want yourself because this is you. This is me, this rain. And I love it. It's cleansing. And then, sometimes it gets so hot. It's like sweat. Sometimes I feel too. Sometimes you feel like it's perspiring. That's why sometimes, like, the sun is out, but it'll be raining some because it's perspiring. As opposed to that. Yeah, guys. So I will be sharing things about my journey, basically, like I was saying, how I got to Jamaica from Atlanta, Georgia. That was real Atlanta on me, and I just wanted to do it at least one time in my life. Um, to Jamaica, to Kingston, Jamaica, then Portland, Port Antonio, Jamaica, which is the countryside. It's really beautiful and really natural here, which is what I was craving on the inside. So that's why I feel like this had to be where I had been in a past life, if not the life before somewhere. I may not even be human, however, I feel like I need to come here. So, yeah, I love it here. I love it. I love it. So I'll just get into that journey and my process of awakening because I truly think that there are just stages and steps to it. It's like they have you go through, in America, I know for sure, 12 years of what I would call grade school. Because anything from kindergarten to when you graduate is a grade school. Because it has different numbers, 1 through 12. So it's you going through those constellations. Everything is plagiarized. Everything is copied. So none of this shit is original. There's nothing new under the sun. So this is what we internally go through, these constellations. So even though you're born under one sun sign and one moon sign, like I'm a Sagittarius sun sign, free spirit traveler. Jupiter is my planet on the Western philosophy. That was super country, y'all, sweet. All right, Jupiter is my planet, the biggest planet in our solar system, and It's a planet of expansion. It's a planet of travel, freedom, because that's the true freedom is in the mind. It is. Um, and my moon sign is Libra. And I love that because you know what I love about Libra is the balance of the scales. That's why this guy I got into a debate with, a disagreement with, he told me, he said, yeah, you could be a lawyer. You could be a judge too. So I had to check myself before I wreck myself because it's bad for my health. You know what I'm saying? However, yeah, I could be. However, I was still able to, even though he said that, I still was able to come back and say, you know what? I'm saying this to you. However, this is what I'm still not doing. That's also impacting this cause and effect. See, and that's another thing when you're higher. If you truly higher conscious, you get cause and effect. So if you get cause and effect, you don't ask, oh, what was me? Why am I going through this? Why is this happening? Even if that starts to arise, you're able to check yourself and be like, something I did. You might recall it could be something that happened in this particular dream. It could be something that happened in the past life that you getting back. That's why they say you get it back through your children because they're your carbon copies. Melanated people. It's a carbon copy. Your melanin carbon. So, how are you still going to get it back in your head too now? Because maybe you're still coping in some way. Maybe you coping because of the children that you had, and you know you weren't mentally ready for it because you over here infecting them with the same disease that you're infected with. You done bit them with the same, they've been bitten as well. And so we got these babies out here, and their innocence needs to be protected. You know what I'm saying? At all costs, in my opinion, because the children are what matter to me most. Children and homeless people I ride for. And I'm sorry, forgive me for saying homeless, houseless people. Because people can call me houseless because I'm living in someone's place. This is don't have my name on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think your name got to be on everything to make it yours. However, my name's on everything because I am everything in the first place. That's the first thing. And I make provisions for myself because this is just a temporary situation. And if I was stuck in a physical, I could be in the freak out mode. However, I decided to go on this journey. That's why I say that everything's not for everybody. And that's why giving out certain information, everything's not for everybody. I don't mind telling people that I'm technically houseless and I'm making things, happen through connections here and getting to where I want to get to, where I'm meant to get to, I should say. Not want to, where I'm meant to get to. Because here's the thing. When you desire something, I learned this from Dr. Delbert Blair. That is you wanting to go outside yourself. That's what people do with praying and things like that. Like I said, with the alcoholism, what they call alcoholism, I was my program. So I took myself through what I needed to not do that anymore, to not abuse myself anymore because I understood what I was doing. And so I know that when I take it in, it's more ritualistic, it's more spiritualistic, it's more mystical, right? And so it's going to manifest totally different energy than what I was manifesting before. And so that's what we have to understand, that's what going to our higher conscious is supposed to do. And that's what going through these different levels are supposed to do, because each sign, you're in it for a certain amount of years. That's why they make you go through elementary school for a certain amount of time, and that's why they make you go through middle school for a certain amount of time. That's why you make you go through high school for a certain amount of time. You know what I'm saying? That is intentional. That is on purpose. To distract people from what they're truly supposed to be learning, which is self. Self, period. About yourself. They have books called The Secret Language of Birthdays. Not saying you have to use a book because you can go within self. However, everybody's in different stages. So I'm not going to tell somebody you shouldn't be using a book at all because they could have just woken up to the illusion that you woke up to a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. So they have they're in kindergarten, y'all. So that it makes no sense to sit here and be beating somebody up in kindergarten. And I get that time is happening. However, remember, there's truly no concept of time. So this person can move way faster than you. That's why they chose this time to keep hitting snooze on their alarm clock, even though the universe the universe, i.e., themselves, kept waking them up, or telling them to wake up, I should say, because we all